and kind of get a little acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvio with the new Veloce package. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Alfa Romeo here in downtown Salt Lake, Utah for giving me some time with this Stelvio. Check out the inventory in the description down below. And then, as always, on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 28 on the highway, with power outputs being 280 horsepower and then 306 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Stelvio. So first off, you guys can see with this black paint, the body lines here on the hood are just so prominent, and the body lines are just perfect here on the Stelvio. It's such a beautiful car. We've got the daytime running light here with the projector headlamp, and then notice here with the parking sensors on the front end, we have Alfa Romeo's signature front grille here with the logo at the top. And yeah, still to this day, even though they haven't redesigned it since it came out, it is such a beautiful car. Now, coming around the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And I've always been a fan of Alfa Romeo's wheel design because, yeah, it just looks super unique. And then you guys can see here with the red brake caliper, and I also like the silver there on the face of the wheel. We have our Veloce badge here on the side. And if we take a few steps back, you guys can see the full side view. Notice also the little fender flares, those are body painted, so it all kind of like ties in together. So here is our key fob. We have the Alfa Romeo logo there on the back. You've got the unlock, the lock function, remote start in the opening here for the rear. I love how it shows a car even though this is an SUV, but notice, again, it says Alfa Romeo right there. Press that twice. And I also like the weight of the key fob. It has a really nice feel to it. But anyways, popping here inside, you guys notice we have these latches here to throw down the seats. And then you can see down below we have an outlet as well. And then notice here with the spare tire on top of that. And yeah, really solid storage space. It's not a massive SUV, but it's still very practical. It looks like it's about the same size as like Toyota RAV4. It may be a little bit bigger than Toyota RAV4 in terms of the space there in the back. Anyways, you can lock it there, or you can press that and that'll lower it back down. And boom. Now here's the door panel in the rear. It's actually soft touch here at the top and then down below. Look at the stitching as well. Right there. Got our window control there, you know, normal practical stuff. And then here are the seats. We have these beautiful red leather seats, and it's perforated all down the center with the black seat belt. And then if I pop in here, legroom's great. Headroom as well, and then you guys can see here with the little cargo net. We've got some vents right here, and I love circular vents because it's easy to direct them. And then you got heated seats here for the back, USB ports. And we have our cup holder armrest situation. Let's head to the front. Now here is the front door panel. You guys can see here with the padding down below, and then notice here with all the window controls. And then we do have our memory seat function and blind spot mounting for the mirrors. And look at that with the Alfa Romeo logo perforated all down the center. And then you guys can see here with the seat adjustments. I'm guessing this is manual for that pull out. And then we got our pedal layout down below. Light control right here with the fog light, and then look at these paddle shifters. Let's pop in. So here is the steering wheel for the Stelvio. We've got really nice leather trim all around, and I love how it's perforated here where you're going to rest your thumb so you get a little bit of a better grip, and on the back as well where your fingers are going to sit so you can get, like, again, really good grip. Massive paddle shifters here, which are so cool. And then you got your turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock. We have the stop start button here on the steering wheel. We do have adaptive cruise control with steering assistance, hill descent control as well on the steering wheel, voice command, volume controls. Lots happening, but it looks really cool. So here is our gauge cluster. You guys can see there with the RPMs on the one side, and then you got the speed on the other side, and then you have that screen there in the center, as you can see, which is really cool. And we changed the drive modes. It actually changes. Look at that. It's like your all-weather mode. That's your normal driving mode, and then we have dynamic, which would be your sporty driving mode. But it's cool that it kind of gives you that little animation there. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, if I pop it into reverse, I do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and then parking sensors, front and rear. Now as for the rest of the screen, it's controlled via a dial, down below, or it is now a touchscreen for the newer Stelvios, which is definitely a cool thing, so that if you don't want to use the dial for some reason, you don't have to. Notice this has the performance pages, which will show different bits of info on the car, which is pretty cool to see. So I can see boost there, for example. Also, when you change the drive modes, it does give you a little animation here for the different drive modes, which is pretty cool. But overall, pretty easy to use infotainment system. It's great that it's now a touchscreen. That definitely makes it a little bit more user-friendly than before, and well, there you go. Got a couple of vents down here with the hazard lights, dual zone climate controls, heated seats for the front, heated steering wheel, little USB right there with a 12 volt, and then notice we've got this trim piece here that covers up the cup holders, shifter for that 8-speed automatic transmission, and you got the Italian flag colors right there, parking brake, and then notice here with the drive mode select, and then the dial control for the infotainment system, and then volume control right next to it, wireless phone charger, integrated there, and then you guys can see here with the USBs and the rest of the storage space. And then here's the center console. Oh, sorry, center console, glove box. Man, my brain, hey, it's 100 degrees outside. Give me a break. Anyways, look at the trim there on the dash, and then the padding as well. And then finishing things up top here, we do have a full panoramic sunroof, controls for the sunroof, and there you go. So here's our window sticker. You guys can see the base price, $50,500, and notice that almost everything is standard equipment, including Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as you can see. Notice the optional equipment here, starting with the Veloce package. And after all options, this one stickers for $57,200. Let's see how it drives. Let's quickly talk about visibility before we set off here. You got your visibility over the hood. Both mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Okay, so we are setting off here in the Stelvio Veloce. And first off, I love the driving dynamics of this car. It's such a fun SUV. And it's crazy, it's 100 degrees and it just started raining randomly. The thing that's weird about downtown Salt Lake is it'll just, that is not the right wiper. It'll just randomly rain out of literally out of nowhere. But anyways, other than that, seat comfort's actually really solid with this. The bolsters are pretty big, so it kind of like holds you in place. And I think I accidentally turned on the rear wiper. Oops. But yeah, seat bolsters definitely hold you in place really well. Still on. Trying to figure out the wipers in a Stelvio. Okay, I think I turned it all off. Anyways, continuing along. Yeah, really good torque out of that 2-liter. Yeah, it's such a solid feel with the powertrain. I'm interested to see kind of how the handling is through here. Oh yeah, this is great. Handles so solid for an SUV. Now pop into the dynamic mode. I love how like a lot of American automakers would just call like the sport mode, and then you know the European automakers would call it dynamic, because that sounds, you know, just fancier basically, which is kind of funny. Just a interesting differentiation with different automakers. I love the paddles. That's something I've always been a fan of, is the column mounted paddles. It feels like I'm in a Ferrari basically. It's just a really cool experience overall. And kind of get a little acceleration here. Yeah, the power figures don't sound like much on paper, but I can tell you, between the super quick shifts of this 8-speed automatic and the torque, it feels a lot quicker than, yeah, it feels so much quicker than what on paper suggests. I know it's a little bit of a shorter drive, but this thing's almost out of gas, and well, we aren't gonna risk it for the biscuit today, that is for sure. But anyways, summing things up here with the Stelvio, I think it looks amazing to this day. It's still such a sexy car. Interior is great with this, again, especially considering the price point. I think they did an amazing job. Then from a driving perspective, it's so sporty. It feels so good. It's such a fun experience. Like, this is an SUV that if you're an enthusiast, like, you can have fun on your daily drive with this. That is for sure. So if you basically want a fun enthusiast SUV, that's what the Stelvio gives you. And they've been out for a few years now, and so I feel like I've seen quite a few of these with higher mileage, and so reliability seems to be pretty solid as well. But yeah, that's the new Veloce package. Let me know what you guys think about it, and yeah, there you go. That's gonna sum things up for a video on this Stelvio with the Veloce package. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Alfa Romeo here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with the Stelvio. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see all of you in the next video.